please don't laugh at your own joke and you know it's corny. Just don't do it. What's poppin'? Neal Hobson, Neallytime. What's good with it? This is the One Goal Podcast, and I'm here to teach you the most important skill you will ever learn in being on stage or in life in general, and that is how to read an audience. Listen, before we get in, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Follow me. Let me know that you're actually getting some value out of this. This is all about adding value to you so you can multiply that to others, of course. A little bit about me. You can check that out in the first episode, which is all about I ain't you, you ain't me. You can be the best you can be, for sure. So here's the deal. I'm a John Maxwell certified coach. I'm a radio host with shows in all over the nation, which I'm blessed to have, where I'm reaching millions upon millions upon millions of people each and every day. I'm a dance choreographer. I'm an Emcee. I'm a host. I'm a live DJ. I sing a little bit. I do a lot of things, but thankfully, God has blessed me to be in some really cool places, to be on stage in front of 30,000 people, or just to be in a small room with people and just connecting. I'm just blessed. I'm thankful for it. I'm here to add value to you. That's why I'm here, okay? Again, it's Neallytime. Some people say Neallytime. You can try it if you can get up there to puberty and whatnot. But it's all about how can I reach the audience that I'm in front of today. Everybody's got an audience. And the number one fear over death is public speaking. But if you can learn to reach the audience that you're in front of, then you can be successful wherever you are, okay? The number one skill you must learn during this podcast is how to read an audience. I think it really comes down to being self-aware. Self-awareness is just crucial. How many people do you know that are just not self-aware at all? Maybe you're in a conversation and you can tell that they ain't reading the room. They don't know what's really going on, because if they did, then they would probably stop talking. They probably recognize that their breath is kicking right now and they would do something about it. Self-awareness is so key. And that's one of the reasons how you can read an audience so well, is when you know yourself well, when you know that you're drifting, you know you're losing your audience, or things aren't going to plan, you can move, you can shake, okay? I'm going to give you 3 quick points on how to read an audience really well. Now, this is probably a part 1 because there's so many layers to this. I'm on stage a lot. Whether you're on stage or in front of thousands of people, or whether you're in your office, whether you're in a conversation, whether you're in a relationship, you got to read the audience. You got to know, okay, what is this person actually thinking right now? Okay, am I connecting? Am I getting through, or am I just hitting a wall? Because sometimes you can be on stage. I've been on stage in dance. I've been on stage DJing. DJing is sometimes the hardest audience, because they have an expectation, and sometimes you just don't know what that expectation is, and you have to figure it out. Here is the deal. I'm going to make a t-shirt, by the way, a One Goal t-shirt that says, "Figure it out." Right now, this is a One Goal jacket. You can check this out. Maybe make this available in the store very soon, onegoalglobal.com. But here's the deal. When I'm on stage and I'm DJing, I'm looking to see who's moving, who's not moving. If I can get that one person that's in the corner to maybe stand up, that's the person to stand up to maybe move to the wall. We'll move to the wall to maybe do a little shoulder shrug, a little toe tap, and then next thing you know, they're having a great time. You're after the same thing, no matter if you're in a conversation, no matter if you're in the boardroom, in your classroom, and you're teaching, or maybe you're on stage in front of a lot of people. It doesn't matter. How can you take people on a journey from where they are to where you want them to go? Here's the deal. I'm going to give you some tips, and I want you to write these down if you need to, screenshot it, screen record it, do whatever you got to do, because these are crucial to reading an audience. That is my job. This is what I do every single day behind a microphone. When I'm on the radio, I have to read an audience that I cannot see. It's very difficult sometimes, right? But we're not talking to millions of people. We're talking to one person. And if I can read that audience very well, then we can actually do something. Okay, the number one thing you need to do is your homework. Number 1, do your homework. Before you even get to the stage, before you get to the room, while you're on your phone call, do your homework. Ask questions. If somebody hires you to do something, people call and say, "Hey, Neal, I want you to MC this event." I want you to host on this event. I want you to DJ this event. I'm asking question after question after question. Questions like, okay, how many people are going to be there? And why that's important is because you could think you'd be talking to hundreds and thousands, but you can maybe be talking to 10 people. And if you've been on stage before, talking to a small group is a lot harder than talking to a large group. You think that, I'm in the stadium, in an arena, I'm in a dome. This is so scary. Yeah, there's nerves that come with it, but talking to a small group, child, especially your kids, Lord, they will tell you how they feel about you. They don't hide nothing. Okay, so do your homework. Know who you're talking to. What race is going to be there? Okay, how old are they? What are they expecting? What are they actually, why are they going? Okay, because there's sometimes people will go somewhere and they expect something that you can't even deliver, but if you don't ask the question beforehand, then you will never know. So you definitely want to ask questions. You want to find out, okay, what do they actually want to take away? What do I want to give them? What do they actually want to take away? So you can actually deliver accordingly. So you want to do your homework. Most people do not do their homework. They just like, oh, okay, you want me to come? Okay, I'll show up. And then you're talking a language that they don't even understand. One thing that's so important is you got to learn to speak the language of the room. Let me tell you right now, speak the language of the room. Well, Neal, what if I don't know that language? I don't know no French. And how do you say, Listen, you may not know no French, but you better learn something before you get there. Oui, bonjour, you know what I'm saying? Comment ça va? You have to know a little bit about a lot of things when you're reaching different audiences and different demographics, okay? You don't have to be and conform to who they are, but what you need to do is be your authentic self, but see how you can cater and serve them the best, to speak their language. You could talk the best talk you can talk, but if you're not speaking the same language, they won't understand it and they won't appreciate it, okay? Number one, do your homework. Number two, shake hands and kiss babies. Now, I know in this world we live in, you can't really shake no hands these days as much and kiss a lot of babies. Just keep your mouth to yourself. But what I'm saying is that you want to get out and about in the audience before you even hit the stage. Before you even walk in the room, make sure you're shaking hands, saying hello, greeting people, saying, hey, how are you? What's going on in your life? How's your day? How's your year? If you actually care about them because you're there to serve them as opposed to get something from them, then it's a game changer. There's a comedian named Michael Jr., right? And he is a phenomenal comedian. He said things changed for him in comedy when he went from trying to get people to laugh as opposed to give people laughs, okay? He's not trying to get some laughs from somebody. He's like, how can I give them an opportunity to laugh? It changed the whole game. I love comedy. I study comics. When one day I want to do some stand-up. Who knows? We'll see. But here's the deal. When you do your homework, when you shake hands, kiss babies, basically you're taking the temperature of the room. You're saying, okay, what do people need right now? Where are they right now? They may walk in the room or sit in the chair and they're frustrated, they're cold. Okay, the actual temperature in the room makes a difference, okay? If it's cold in there, you need to definitely get out and about, say, hi, how are you? Fist bump, do what you got to do to make sure that you're building a bond with them and to make sure that there's a connection there. The connection is key because they'll laugh at your jokes a little bit more if you took a little bit of time with them. Huh? They'll maybe receive and sit on the edge of their seat and actually, give you a little something so they can receive a little something if you actually take some time with them in the beginning. It's so important to do so before you hit the stage because some people want to be divas. Some people just want to, sit off in the green room, never talk to anybody ever, as opposed to actually getting out and about and talking to people. Now, I do understand, depending on what level you are, it's harder to do that because you're trying to prep, you're trying to stay focused, and you don't want people throwing off your focus or just, COVID, all this stuff. I get that. I understand that. Trust me. But it's important. If you have an opportunity, just a couple of people, hey, how are you? How's your day? Whoop-de-woo-woo. Okay? So number one, do your homework. Number two, shake hands, kiss babies. And number three, learn how to pivot. Woo, child, listen. Learn how to pivot in the moment, in real time. How do you pivot? So many of us had to pivot through COVID, right? You were doing one thing and then maybe you couldn't do it anymore. So many artists, so many dancers, so many singers, so many performers on stage that had audiences, and now I can't do that anymore. How do I pivot? This is what I had to do. I'm used to DJing in front of a lot of people. I'm used to entertaining people and getting a response from people that I can see. But what happens when you got to do a virtual event? I had to do a virtual event. My first one, well, I did a couple of smaller virtual events leading up to this bigger virtual event with people around the world with John Maxwell. And you have to figure out, how can I engage with somebody and I can't even see them? Oh, my goodness. That's called a pivot. So my business switched to online instead of in person. It's pivoting. It's saying, okay, this is the situation. I got to move this direction. Okay, this is what the cards I've got dealt. Okay, I gotta make the most with it. You can pivot, but you have to be aware that you need to pivot. It's called being self-aware. You're reading the audience. So it's a lot harder to read an audience on a screen than it is in person. But you got to be able to pivot. If you know that joke did not land, please don't laugh at your own joke and you know it's corny. Just don't do it. I've seen it too many times where they crack a joke like, yeah, walked in the door. Sir, ma'am, don't do that. It's so uncomfortable, so embarrassing. If they're not laughing, you need to move on. Let me say it again. If they are not laughing, they're not responding, you need to move on. Don't double down on that thing. Don't do it. I'm telling you, I've been there, and it's so uncomfortable. Okay, so learn how to pivot. If you know your audience is losing interest in you, you might be losing interest right now. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to pivot. I'm going to make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm going to make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you hit me up at onegoalglobal.com. Let me know that you are loving the content because I'm trying to add value to you. Okay, now we're pivoting again. We're going back to what I was just talking about. Know what's going on in the room and know when to just wrap it up. It ain't nothing wrong. You may not even get through all your notes. You may not even get through your whole set. You may not even, get to your best part. But if you're losing the room and you cannot figure it out, hey, wrap it up, okay? Just wrap it up. I'm just trying to tell you, okay, I'm going to wrap it up. Do your homework, number one. Number two, shake hands, kiss babies. Read the temperature of the room, and then you'll set the temperature. Hello, that's another video. And number three, learn how to pivot in real time. You got this. You can do this. Okay, it's going to take practice. You can practice in your car. You can practice in your bathroom. You can practice in the mirror. You can practice and practice and practice until you're as comfortable as you can be before you hit the stage or before you walk in the room or before you address your audience or go into this relationship. You practice. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. When you add value to people, they can multiply to others. We add value to people, like John Maxwell says, because people are valuable. You're valuable. My one goal is to help you. That's it. One goal for souls. That's it. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you like. Make sure you follow. Do all the things you need to do because I want to keep providing great content for you. My name is Neal Hobson. Neallytime. It's a One Goal podcast. We'll see you next episode.